everyone, this is Nikachu, and I am here all alone. There's no one else here. My brother, he's on vacation with my parents out in Florida. So I'm here by myself. We're doing it solo, but that's okay because we're gonna play test the most exciting new variation of Merfolk on the block. Blue-green Merfolk, or some people would call it Simic Merfolk, but you know what? That name didn't catch on at all. Before we get into any of that, we're going to thank the manabase.com. If you want to get an edge in competitive Commander, if you want to know the strategy to how to beat multiple people, get through those politics, go check out James LePage's The Metal Worker on the manabase.com. And we have new patrons supporting me on Patreon. I absolutely love you guys. You're supporting the channel, you're supporting me, and I would like to thank so much to Juan Morales, Tom Wu, James Hartley, Patrick Olds, Dennis Stockhouse, and Mark B. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It would not exist without you guys. Absolutely not. And it motivates me to make it better, cleaner, and more supportive. Get you guys prepared for Merfolk and Modern and make you guys better Magic players. So, blue-green Merfolk, because of Kumena's Speaker and Merfolk Branchwalker, they are the two new big tools to the Merfolk deck. So I didn't express this enough in my spoiler video. Sorry, I didn't express it at all because I forgot to mention this. A lot of people are saying, well, why don't you just play Cozy's Trickster Nikachu? It will become a 2-2 pretty often. And the answer to that is no, because I did play test Cozy's Trickster, even when Grixis Death Shadow was in its full popularity. And if you just play test it, it doesn't get to a 2-2 creature even all that often. Like, it was around 20%. Most of the time it's nothing. You look at Eldrazi Tron, you look at Affinity, you look at Lantern Control. You know what? Even the decks with the fetch lands, they're going to look at your hand, they see the Cozy's Trickster, and they're going to use their fetches and then play their shock lands or whatever. It's amazing how much control your opponent has over how big Cozy's Trickster gets. And if Cozy's Trickster ever got to a 3-3 creature, then they would just kill it with a removal spell. And then some of you might say, well, isn't that a good thing that it's hitting the Cozy's Trickster and not your bigger creatures? Well, that's what Curse Catcher was already doing. Curse Catcher pretty often trades for a removal spell protecting our lords. So the point is, Kumena's Speaker is a guaranteed 2-2 creature, basically almost 100% of the time. You only need a Merfolk or an island to get this thing online. So that's what makes it way better than Cozy's Trickster. So the fact that we can add green gives us the ability to play this guy. But the thing that really makes this deck playable is Merfolk Branchwalker. This is Silvergill Adept numbers 5 to 8. It's sort of a scrying machine as well. The fact that it can become a 3-2 creature, if you guys don't know what this is, it's when Merfolk Branchwalker enters the battlefield, it explores. And exploring is if you reveal the top card of your library, so your opponent is going to see it, and you either put it into your hand if it's a land, but if it's not, you put a +1/+1 counter on Merfolk Branchwalker, and you have the choice to put the card back on top of your deck or into the graveyard. So it acts like a scry, and gets a +1/+1 counter. So that makes Merfolk Branchwalker a somewhat more aggressive version of Silvergill Adept in the situations where you don't draw a land. Now, I will admit, I have not playtested a ton with this deck. I got in enough games that I could just feel what was this deck like at all. And honestly, it feels like just a normal Merfolk deck with a bit of a better curve, which is probably why we aren't seeing like super big results online. It feels like it's improved, but of course we have the downside of playing the fetch lands, the shock lands, the Botanical Sanctum, and we might as well get to the mana base now. I don't think anyone has solved what the correct mana base is. A lot of people are asking me, what's the mana base? Well, do you know what? I have not a damn clue what the correct mana base is. And also, I'm not proficient enough with mana bases to know what would be the correct mana base in this situation. I'm not entirely sure even what I'm supposed to copy, or mimic from other archetypes to make to our own. I just I will say that, I'm going to play with Botanical Sanctum. I think even if this thing comes into play tapped as our fourth land, we have enough 1-drops now that we could play like 2-drop and 1-drop on turn 4. That it won't be such a downside when it happens, because like in the past, if you play with the idea of playing Botanical Sanctum was problematic, because if it comes into play tapped as your fourth land, well, now you can't curve out at all because your hand is full of 2-drops. But that's not going to be so true anymore, because we do have a decent chunk of 1-drops with the 2-drops. So by turn 4, if we have still some 1-drops in hand, we can still curve our hand out pretty comfortably, and I think reliably. So this hand, yeah, and I'm playing with 2 breeding pools. I'm playing with 5 fetch lands, and some of you might be wondering, and I should probably have the Misty Rainforest in here. I'm just being lazy. But the point is, you do want to have, at a theoretical point of view, a diverse number of fetch lands to play around Pithing Needle, which can happen against Eldrazi Tron. If you're on the draw, they play like Temple, Go, and then you play like, I don't know, you've got 2 fetch lands in your hand and an island, but you play the island Ether Vial past the turn. They go Temple, Thought Not Seer, look at your hand, and they see 2 polluted deltas. Let's go with breeding pool. They see 2 breeding pool because you played with 4 breeding pool in your deck. Next turn they could Pithing Needle, either nailing both of them or at least one of them. And you don't really want to put yourself in that situation, so the best way to play around that is just to diversify the number of fetch lands you have. So I actually should have a breeding pool in here, but I don't have a forest to fetch out this time, so it's not that big of a deal. Practically speaking, this doesn't mean a whole lot. It doesn't matter all that much, but just theoretically, this is the correct thing to do. Maybe it will screw you up 1 in 300 matches. So, I decided to go with no removal. We're just going to go all creatures all out. We're going to play this version with Ether Vial, and then we're going to play a league with Collected Company. Collected Company, I'm not going to talk about too much right now, but Collected Company was all the hype, and for the most part, most people abandoned it. I hear a lot of negativity about Collected Company, but that's okay. We're going to talk about Collected Company, and I'm going to try to make it work. But this will be an Ether Vial version. And I'm going to have no creature removal except for Harbinger of the Tides, comboing with Mararegery. So for the most part, we have all our stock creatures. We're going to play with Curse Catcher. We're going to play with Harbinger of the Tides. We're going to play with our 12 Lords, because I think that's what I want to do. And I am playing with 19 lands, because the curve is pretty low. And so we have 1 Funzy slot open. Let's play with Kopala. Let's see what happens with Kopala. This is actually going to be the first time I'm playing with Kopala. I had like a phantasmal image in this guy's spot. So let's see what Kopala does. You're a new guy too. You got to be showcased in this deck. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to play with the Lord system that has been working for me in the mono blue version. So going into the sideboard, I don't know for sure what is the correct sideboard, what works the best, but I'm going to stay true to some dispels. Ceremonious Rejection might be wrong, given that I'm playing with Natural State here. Like, this may be too many cards allocated to colorless spells, even though this is also meant to hit Eldrazi and other things that this thing cannot hit at all. But it feels like a lot. And I'm playing with Beast Within, because why not? Let's try this thing. I beat a mono blue Tron player, but this thing could have been a big deal because they were going to play a Platinum Angel next turn, and I could have Beast Within and then won the game. But it's just a card that we could use this against Titan Shift. We can blow up a land. We can use it against Tron, either blow up Ugin or a certain Tron land, and we can of course bounce the 3/3 Beast with Harbinger of the Tides. We can bring this in against Lantern Control, so it's just more removal. I mean, it is the single most versatile removal we could possibly have. So I'm gonna try out Beast Within on the sideboard. We have Relic of Progenitus for the combo matchups, Grixis Death Shadow. So that's the deck. That's the deck tech. So let's check out Blue Green Merfolk. So we lost the die roll, and we're gonna have to mulligan. No, this is good news. This hand is terrible. Can we gamble? I don't really want to gamble this. Can mulligan one more time. I mean, The hand's fine if we get an island, but we're on the draw, so I'm gonna mulligan one more time. Sounds fine. Yeah, we can keep this. And it's got a Silver Gill Adept, which is good. This actually is good too. I think I like this. I like having a turn 1 play. Where is this tower? So maybe we can just curve out and win. That would be convenient. A bit difficult. We're going to need an island. Or a breeding pool. Ooh, Mono Blue Tron. Excellent. So let's just hope that this is just a gifted win. Or maybe, yeah, I believe this is Mono Blue Tron. Can't remember how stock this is. Probably it's somewhat stock. Ooh, okay, so Botanical Sanctum. So we have the option of going like Lord into Lord, and then just say to hell with the Silver Gale Adept. Nah, I guess we'll play the Silver Gale Adept. We'll keep drawing cards. And then next turn we can play Mutavault Lord, attack, and then the last turn, hopefully play land number 4, Lord, activate Mutavault, attack. So that's fine. Show Lord of Atlantis. Oh, we hit a Scalding turn. I hope this is Mono Blue Tron. Just this card threw me off a little bit. Add blue or black to your mana pool. They do play Dismember. Ooh, Gemstone Caverns. Thank you for helping make Gemstone Caverns so expensive that I'm not very happy about buying the foil one anymore. Spreading Sea is pretty useless here. They're not even close to Tron. I don't want to give them more blue mana. So if they try to Condescend for 2, because that's what they can do, we can counter it with Curse Catcher. This is... I can pay this. Yes. Oh, they just want to scry 2. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. I'm happy I played that Mutavault. Alright, let's get in for 5. I think we're en route to winning next turn. Let's see, they go to 14. We play Master of the Pearl Trident. Activate, this is 7, 7. Yeah, that's enough to win. Exaxes! Better do something amazing this turn. Teleria West, 0. To get what? Sort of concerning, they're tapping out for something. What you can get for like 0 mana? Like Engineered Explosives, but you only have like blue and colorless available to you. Urza's Power Plant. So you're not even close to Tron. So I'll play the Scalding Tarn, I'll play Master of the Pearl Trident, and we see what happens. Okay, so... okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So even if they have 1 land, they can play Platinum Angel next turn. Which means we can't do anything about that. So I think we should just try to win. The card I would love to play around is... it's like 1 blue X, return something to their hand and draw a card. But if they've got that, no matter what, I can't play around that. I can't win this turn. Or, I mean, I'm going to try... I'm going to play the line that will put us in position to win this turn. Hopefully they have nothing. Okay, they have nothing. Excellent. Excellent. So what are we going to bring in? We're going to bring the Beast Within in. It kills Platinum Angel. And can also blow up their Tron lands. each land is really important. We got a lot of good cards here, actually. We've got Natural State, Ceremonious Rejection, and Dispel. These are all very good cards in this matchup. We can't use all these cards, that's for sure. I guess I'm just not going to use the Natural State. It probably has targets, but not enough for me to care. I always found that Spreading Seas was not the greatest card here either. We will get rid of... Dispel is fine. Ceremonious Rejection is also fine. Harbinger of the Tides, not super impressive. How important is Kopala? Kopala is not really impressive either. I have to get rid of 6 cards. Honestly, this Branchwalker stuff is not particularly important. Lords are important. Maybe we'll have 2 Beast Withins. Maybe we'll have 1 Dispel. Like, I have just too much interaction. We have 3 creatures. We have to cut down on creatures. Okay, we'll take out Harbinger. We'll take out... 2 Kumena Speaker. 26 creatures. Decent chunk of interaction. Dispel is pretty good, though. Dispel is really good. Because they have, like, a ton of counterspells, and they're really annoying. Counterspells, bounce spells, all that stuff. Super annoying. Whatever. We'll just take it with this. I don't know what the correct sideboarding for this is. I'm really... A lot of the cards look good. But you have to make sure you keep a decent ratio of things. Yeah, I guess I'm going to keep this. And let's hope our opponent doesn't have turn to repeal. That's the card. 1 blue X, return target permanent back to their owner's hand. And if they don't have the repeal, then hopefully the Curse Catchers are going to take it away from there. Natural State could deal with that, that's for sure. Or if we have a land, we can play like several of these Ether Vials. Okay, so they're sort of stuck on mana. We're also stuck on mana. This Beast Within feels terrible. So, how do we use this? I guess I could play the Sanctum and hold up Ceremonious Rejection, I think. I should definitely get the other vial on the board. That's important. The other, yeah, I guess that's how I'm going to do it. Hold up Ceremonious Rejection. And after they crack the Expedition map, I think I should actually put a Curse Catcher on the board. Okay, I have priority held. When they found Oboro, ooh, they were lacking blue mana. Okay, that's fine. I just want Curse Catcher on the board so that if I were to ever activate Vial on 1, they might, in response, bounce something or do something. Like, there's a card draw spell. 1 blue, 2 colorless, draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact. This is all excellent. I'm not attacking with this Mutavault. We're going to hold up the Ceremonious Rejection for something. Like, what's it called? Oblivion Stone or something like that. Awkward. Pretty awkward. But at least the Snapcaster Mage isn't going to get any value, so that's not too bad. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. And just like my reasoning before, I'm going to get the Curse Catcher in play to limit our opponent's ability to use their mana. Or like to do something in response to like a Curse Catcher being vialed in onto the board. River of Tears. They're being a little careful because they know I have some sort of they know I have some sort of counterspell. So we're going to say no to one, and then we're going to up the other one. I like to have my vials on 2 because if I were to draw Silvergill Adept or Merfolk Branchwalker, or most specifically Silvergill Adept, I can chain Silvergill Adepts into other Silvergill Adepts. I don't have any reason to play this Spreading Seas right now, so I'm not. I guess I was premature vialing in this Mass of the Pearl Trident, because I should have waited for the blocker step. I really just didn't anticipate them to burn a Snapcaster Mage like that. Do I have lethal next turn? I do not. Not to mention, you can Beast Within your own stuff. So if I had land, I could threaten to Beast Within one of my Ether Vials, like the tapped Ether Vial, and then get in there for lethal. So I guess I'll just pass, and we're just going to play it patiently. I'm going to play it patiently. Thirst for Knowledge. So there's the Thirst for Knowledge. Yeah, resolves. They discarded Solemn Simulacrum. Now, Repeal is very funny for them because it doesn't really do anything for them. Ooh, there's the Flooded Strand. So we can play a Flooded Strand. It enables us to play Ceremony. It enables us to attack with a Mutavault, but Mutavault doesn't win us this turn. 1, 2, 3. What would you do if you had 1 billion mana? Anyway, I can't win this turn, so I'm just going to attack for 9. We're going to attack for 9, and then we're going to try to attack for the win next turn. I guess what I can do here is just cast Spreading Seas on Urza's Mine, and the fact that we have not been casting anything might be helping us. Because if they have a bunch of Condescends in their hand, then they can't scry. So if I play a Spreading Seas here and they Condescend for 2, they can scry. They still have Ceremonious Rejection up. Actually, I should try to use up their Condescends, I think. Remand. That feels bad. Remand is not a card I was thinking about. Okay, I can pass. Actually, there was an advantage to attacking with Mutavault there, because if we can get our opponent down to exactly 1, then even if they play Oblivion Stone and blow everything up, that's not a big deal. I think we just win here. So we're going to Ceremonious Rejection, the Wormcoil Engine. If they protect it with counter magic, that should be game, because we're just going to Spreading Seas them. Well, they have a bit of mana, actually. They've got this Urza's Tower, but they have to burn at least the Oboro and Urza's Tower. And we win the match. And that's the manabase.com Get Dunked On instant replay. That's how it is. I don't know why, but I mean, I played another mono blue Tron deck. I didn't play a lot of playtesting decks with this. But with the blue-green Merfolk, I haven't seen Mono Blue Tron since forever. I just played against it once when I played against the god of Mono Blue Tron. Yeah, whatever. But we beat them. Who cares? Ceremonious Rejection still good. And if that was Platinum Angel, Beast Within, or Ceremonious Rejection, whatever, whichever one you want. So that was our first match against with blue-green Merfolk. I don't know if we saw really the green part of all this stuff, but you know, it's going to show up. It's going to show up. Merfolk Branchwalker is a hell of a card. So we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. If you support me on Patreon, you're going to have access to the Merfolk Strategy Guide, and we're going to thank our sponsor, themanabase.com. This has been Nikachu, playing Blue-Green Merfolk in Modern.